So that mountain you saw in the drone shot footage is actually Mount St. Helens. Last night I was coming up this way and I kept seeing signs for Mount St. Helens, and I looked on some of my maps and found some free camping. This morning I'm going to go over to the visitor center for Mount St. Helens and I don't know, see what there see what there is to see. If anybody else is about my age, I was in 3rd grade in 1980 when Mount St. Helens erupted. It was recess time and the teachers were not wanting to let us go outside and play because there might be ashfall. Obviously there is never any ashfall in the Kansas City area, but there is a weird spot. I think I saw this in the map when I was trying to look it up. There's a weird spot in Oklahoma where ash actually did fall. I don't know how much or anything like that, but just weird. So I'm kind of interested to go to this visitor center and I don't know, kind of fill in some holes in my memory of, you know, those events and you know, what happened and all that kind of stuff. So it'll be interesting to get to the visitor center, see what kind of I don't know, new things I can learn. So it'll be interesting to get kind of that, I don't know, first person view of what I have in my memory. You know, you've seen all the video footage and stuff online or in the news, but it's never the same as when you see it for yourself. This raised relief map shows the area I was camped in last night. I was just down the road from where the climber's bivouac is listed. As I spin around the map, you can see the area of the eruption and where the debris field cascaded down the mountain. This graphic represents the spread of the ash cloud to the east and the time it took to get to each location. The true scale of the destruction is really hard to believe. The ash cloud alone traveled across the U.S. in 3 days and circled the globe in 2 weeks. While I was touring the area, there was a cloud hanging over the top of the volcano, which made it look like the volcano was becoming active. Even one of the park rangers was joking around that he could probably convince tourists that it was erupting. This is the bridge over Hofstadt Creek and is the longest and tallest of 14 bridges on the Spirit Lake Memorial Highway at Mount St. Helens. Built in 1992 as part of the new highway to access the volcano, it was one of the keystones of the $200 million highway project. There is a nice viewpoint at the parking area on the west end, which is where I'm taking this video from. And a few miles past the bridge towards the volcano is the Forest Learning Center at mile marker 33. This is the Toutle River Valley. This is where the avalanche of debris from the eruption cascaded down the river, wiping out everything in its path. In all, 12 bridges, 300 homes, and 63 miles of roads were completely destroyed as the torrent made its way all the way down to the Columbia River. This is the view from the small bluff overlooking Mount St. Helens Forest Learning Center. This center, located just inside the volcanic blast zone, is the result of a partnership between Washington State Department of Transportation, the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, and Weyerhaeuser, who own much of the forest devastated by the blast. This center highlights the story of the remarkable recovery of forests, fish, and wildlife following the 1980 eruption. This is the view of Coldwater Lake from the Coldwater Ridge Visitor Center. I stopped at this visitor center, but it was not as interesting as the others, so I didn't get any videos of the inside. However, I did go down and visit the Coldwater Lake and recreation area. It's times like this I really wish I could travel with a kayak so I could take advantage of these beautiful mountain lakes. But being that my Jeep is already cramped for space, there's no way even an inflatable kayak would fit. After leaving the Mount St. Helens area, I drove northeast towards the Okanagan National Forest. I found some free camping near the town of Winthrop, Washington, and this campground was on 8 Mile Creek, which flows into the Chouok River down near the start of the forest road. So this has to be one of the cleanest campsites I've ever been to. I've been here a couple days now, and something I like to do is walk around the camp and pick up any trash I find. I've got extra trash bags inside just for that purpose. But this site, man, I can't even find like small scraps of trash. This is the pile of trash in the entire camp that I could find, and there's what, 4 or 5 campsites here. So I got a Velcro strap for a tent, a wad of electrical tape. This looks like the cap to a deodorant or something like that. Some type of foil, not sure. Anyway, a little bit more tape, a rubber strap. This used to be a coffee grounds bag, water bottle cap, and then some plastic wrappers. This kind of looks like firework. I hope it's not, but anyway, you're not supposed to light off fireworks in the National Forest. But this was interesting. It's like a miniature size railroad spike. It's length of my finger, so it's pretty small. Kind of interesting. But I found a quarter. It's a 1987 standard US quarter. But that was it. Oh, and the pen. But that was it. That's the extent of the trash I could find in the entire campsite. I even looked down beyond the fence, down to the creek and everything. At each campsite, there's a little gate that goes through. And I didn't find any trash down there either. Usually people chuck bottles and cans and all kinds of stuff down into the bushes as they're camping, and I didn't find any of that. So, kudos to the Washington State Park Service or whoever maintains this site. They've done a really good job of maintaining everything and keeping trash out of the fire pits, even though you can't have fires right now because of the fire bans. But yeah, this is a nice campsite, and I've had the place pretty much to myself. Anyway. These guys have been the only visitors I've had at the campsite since I got here about 2 days ago. It's a good thing there's a cattle guard across the road, because otherwise they'd be up in camp pooping on everything. Well guys, that's going to be it for today's video. Thanks for coming along. If you've made it this far in the video, please hit the like button, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. It helps out my channel. Thanks again, and we'll see you on the next one.